Well, hello and welcome to my channel of Java Noobs. My name is Sharath and you are viewing my Java video tutorial series. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I would suggest you to see it first, and below is the link. Java Basics Part 1, Question 19. Data types and modifiers in Java. Well, talking about data types, there are 8 data types in Java, and they are also called as primitive data types. And the first data type is byte. The value of byte is anywhere from -128 to 127. The size of byte is 8 bits. The default value of byte is 0. The second data type is short, and the values that is minimum and maximum is anywhere between plus or minus 32,768. The size of it is 16 bits. Default value is 0 again. Third data type is int. The value is from minus 2,147,483,648 to the positive 647. The size of it is 32 bits. Default value 0. Talking about long, oh my god, this is gonna be a big number. Well, I'll try to read it out to you, but you don't have to memorize them. It's good to know, because sometimes in your OCJP exams they might ask you what is the value, minimum and maximum value of any of the data types. So it's just good to know, and moreover it'll be fun to remember such a huge number. Okay, I'll try to read it out to you. So that would be 9 quintillion 223 quadrillion 372 trillion 36 billion 854 million 775,807. Can you believe it? I just read it out to you. Anyways, this is the value of long, that is plus or minus, and the size of long is 64-bit, and the default value is 0. Talking about the fifth data type is float. So that is pretty much self-explanatory. Float is single precision, 32-bit, default value 0.0. Double is double precision, 64 bits, 0.00. Talking about char, that is the seventh data type, there is no minimum and maximum value. Obviously it's a character, which is also called as char. So the size of char is 16 bits, and the default value of char is null. The eighth data type, that is boolean. Boolean has only two values. It's either true or false. So the size of boolean values will be 1 bit. The default value of boolean will be false. It's good to remember this point. The default value of boolean is always false. Okay, it's a tricky question, so they might ask you this question in OCJP and even in your interviews. So it's better you remember that. So the default value of boolean is false. Modifiers. Now firstly I would like to say, if anybody asks you what is an access specifier, you just blindly tell them that in Java there are no access specifiers. There are 12 access modifiers only. In Java there are no access specifiers. So there's no point in trying to tell anybody what access specifiers are. But if anybody asks you, please tell them that there are 12 access modifiers and list them out as follows, and as I would. There are 12 access modifiers: public, private, default, protected, final, abstract, static, synchronized, native, strict FP, transient, volatile. Now some of the modifiers I'm sure you wouldn't have heard. Not to worry, I will cover them in my future tutorials, and I'll make sure that all these modifiers here are used in my tutorials. But just to give you a brief idea, I'll just talk about a few modifiers. Now if you take synchronized for example, it allows only one thread at a time. Okay, that's the thing you want to remember. And talking about native is applicable only to methods. Okay, so remember that. And volatile means it keeps on changing. The value is not fixed. Don't worry about them. I will definitely give you examples, and as and when we are covering some advanced topics, you'll get to know these things automatically, even if I don't talk about it, because I'll be showing it to you anyways in my tutorials. That's pretty much it about access modifiers and data types. The next topic what I would be talking about is modifier access. Now modifier access, public, protected, default, private are the most commonly used modifiers to access certain classes and certain packages and some of the subclasses and sub packages in a project. There is a chart here basically. So you will have to remember this chart because you'll get to know as to where and how to use these modifier accesses. Firstly, I'll talk about public. Public can be used inside the project anywhere. Public can be accessed within the same class, within the same package, within the subclass, and within the sub package. And by now, I'm sure you should be knowing what same class, same package, subclass, and sub package is. Okay. The next thing is protected. Protected cannot be used in sub package, but it can be used in the same class, same package, and the subclass. The next modifier is default. It can be used only in the same class and same package, but you cannot use it in the subclass and sub package. Private can only be used inside the class. Wherever you're mentioning it, that's about it. Apart from that class, you can never use it anywhere else. The X marks represents you cannot use. So private can be used in the same class, but it cannot be used in the same package, subclass, nor sub package. It can only be used in the same class. So these are the things you'll have to remember about data types and access modifiers. So hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching the tutorials. I'm sure you would have liked the video. Please go ahead, rate, comment, and subscribe.